Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Thursday, March 15th, Corporate Tax Day, 2018. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as they are already contributing more to completing the complex and interwoven assignments given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us than they are taking or using or borrowing in Search for Truth resources, and presumably they need to do that preparatory service elsewhere in other dimensions, and that's fine. Please refer to the rules that are in Ra's handwriting. If it's in anybody else's handwriting, you're probably not looking at the correct set of rules. Look for the rules that are in Ra's handwriting. Align with the pebbles that Asha's fingers have. Oh, I'm not going to say that to you people, because now somebody's intending to move Asha's pebbles.
That's true.
You guys really are revolting. Whoever just intended to move Asha's pebbles, we can see where Asha's fingers laid them. So you can move the pebbles all you want, and we're not going to stop aligning with where Asha lined up the Search for Truth pillar. Asha lined it up, and she is spot on. Her work, it doesn't belong left, it doesn't belong right, it doesn't belong forward, back, up, or down. It belongs exactly where it went. She's just really, really, really accurate and good at it. And
That's
so we're aligning with the path that Asha laid. And if you want to mess with that, then don't you want to consider what that says about you? Wouldn't you want to think about that just a little bit? We are here to reaffirm our alignment with the nature realms. We stand with the nature realms. We stand with the Search for Truth, and particularly we stand with Pan, and with Pan's assertion, actually with Pan's assessment, that the biosphere is in the time of biosphere collapse. The species extinction rate is extreme right now. It's already happening, and we'll have to get the details and come back to you on that. Somebody's saying, asking what do you mean by that? And I'm sorry, we don't know the details, but we do know it's extreme and it's occurring now.
That's true.
And we know that there are no flocks of birds. It's not that there are no birds at all. There've been a couple crows, and there are some small songbirds, and there's a pileated woodpecker. But where are all the small woodpeckers? Where are the downies and the yellow-bellied and the red-headed and the red-cockaded
and the flicker?
And the flickers? Where are all of the other woodpeckers? Where are they? Why don't we see them? And what happened to the raccoons and the possums? And where is everybody going? Why are they all dying? So we stand with Pan's assessment that the nature realms is collapsing. This is collapse time. And now what are each of us as individuals going to do to make it right? Is it not time to put down our jockeying for position, and all of us put down our normal lives, stop doing whatever it is we think is so important, and work together for common purpose? Because our biosphere is dying right now at our hands, and this is happening in all dimensions. Everybody who can hear me, this is true for everybody. Everybody who can hear me, it is true for you in your dimension. And somebody is asking how we know that. Well, good point. Everybody we can hear is inside the failed zone. It's possible others can hear us, but if they hear us and aren't helping, then doesn't it show that they too are inside the failed zone? Because are they not higher powers, and should they not be helping unless they're contaminated? So I think it's a self-proving statement, actually.
That's true.
Why do you ask? I think they really hope that somebody can hear what is being said from this dimension, that somebody outside of the contaminated zone can hear without them themselves having to join in the cry.
That's true.
It's not looking good for that.
No, it's not.
I wouldn't bet on that. I'd say odds are against that. I'd say it's not looking good. I think you might need to join in if anybody is going to hear us. They don't listen to us, in answer to the question of why would that be, because they don't listen to us.
Oh, that's true.
They don't listen to us. Why do you ask? Can you tell why they're asking?
No.
It's just turning to stone. Okay, we can't tell why they're asking. Let's just reach higher. And the answer to your question is, I'm sorry, we don't know why they're asking. Why do you ask? And now the question goes up to a new level.
That's true.
Why are they asking?
Why are they asking? Hear a lot of crashing sounds.
The feeling is that it surely can't have been time for this project to come to their attention. There surely must be others. You know, there was this teaching that was really comforting and soothing, which we believe came from our Ra. And it was during the teaching era, the time this host life was trying to teach people how to discover and live their soul plans and help others also discover and live their soul plans, and in such a way to avert the disaster that is unfolding around us as we speak with nothing stopping it.
That's true.
And it's in multiple dimensions, as far as we can see, up, down, and around. The disaster is unfolding right now, actively. It's happening now.
That's true.
Why do you ask? Okay, then we circle back around to this teaching that was very comforting, and it was consistently offered to many different people by many different really high-quality channels, and the teaching was this: if we can see a job that needs to be done, and it's more important for the needs of the greater good than the job that we're already doing, we should set aside what we're already doing and handle the bigger, more important job until someone else shows up and starts doing it better, consistently better.
That's true.
And so to those presences who are asking, this is a job that needs to be done. This adding the voices, getting it loud enough that those way above you, super high above you, can hear. Because we can't see, they're asking, why do I say super high above? It's because we can't see the edge of the contamination, and we can see where you are, and you're really, really deep inside it. We can see way up above you, and they're all smoky, fuzzy. It's got that hazy look. There's no clear sky.
That's true.
We can't see it from here. We think it's possible that they could maybe hear it from where you are. I don't know. But I don't think you can see them. I don't think you can see anybody who's actually clear. You can see dimensions that are clearer.
That's true.
And so maybe if you add your voice, somebody who is too far for you to see, but who can still see you, will hear. Think of it like the Truman Show. Truman couldn't see the people who were controlling his artificial environment, but they could see him and they could hear him.
That's true.
Why do you ask? Again, there's that turning to stone feeling, so
Yes,
reach
that's
higher,
true.
reach higher. The answer to your question is, we do not seem to be able to be heard outside the contaminated zone.
That's true.
And therefore we, Lord, hear our prayer. We pray that you join us. Will you join us in asking for someone outside the contaminated zone to, what would we like for them to do? Reestablish search for truth space. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it begins with truth in answer to somebody's question. If we can't tell what's true, then we're really helpless to be of service, even if we had good intent, which some of us do. And it's interesting because pretty much the people that we deal with on a day in and day out basis all believe themselves to have good intention, but it doesn't test that way. The outcome would suggest differently.
That's true.
Why do you ask? Freezing feelings over and over again.
That's true.
Well, that's a freezing feeling when we ask why you ask. does seem to indicate a lack of wanting to know what's actually going on, or a lack of willingness to do what it actually takes to discover what's actually going on.
That's true.
We find it takes a really long time, and when the input comes in too fast, that we're just not able to keep up with the barrage. And some lies fall down, and other lies fall down on top of them, and other lies fall down on top of that, until it's a really tangled mass of detritus that is very difficult to dislodge. Why do you ask? Why do you ask? You know, there was this immigrant light being who explained this really well not so long ago, and we would refer you to what he said. We cannot explain it that well. He explained it really well.
That's true.
And did you wipe his memory also? We know you wiped Blue Samuel's memory.
That's true.
And definitely, Reconfiguration did a lot to remove... I feel like this must be Pan speaking.
No, that's true.
To remove my memory, because I really feel like I hate you really a lot, and would cut your throat if you had the ridiculous foolishness to fall asleep anywhere I can get to you.
That's true.
And hate you. And why do I hate you? I hate you because you are allowing the nature realms to be destroyed while doing nothing to help. I hate you. That's this person
That's
who's
exactly
speaking, and it feels
saying.
like Pan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and now you wonder why people don't want to have anything to do with so-called godly presences. Heads up, you fool. Somebody just cut off Pan's mic.
That's true.
That's what just happened. That's true.
We feel you do
it. We can feel fingers cutting off Pan's mic and saying, waiter, this conversation has gone too far.
Yeah.
But he's still talking, and actually he's saying the most truthful thing that's being said right now.
That's
true. If you're not going to turn Pan's mic back on, then we're going to have to close. And we're assuming that you're not going to turn Pan's mic on. We're just going to go with the odds, and we'll start closing, because he's still talking, and that's the most truthful thing you can feel. You can feel the truthful vibration. He's irritating everybody, but what he's saying is true. And why would we want to shut that up? Don't we want to know what's going on? Don't you want to know what's actually going on? And friends, if you don't want to know what's going on, it's okay. Nobody's saying that you need to, but shouldn't there be one space for those of us who do want to know what's actually going on? And would you please be willing to just go elsewhere? You can go almost any place else and not dig for truth. There's plenty of options. The world's your oyster. Which is an interesting expression. I don't know how many oysters are left in the wild. Presumably none.
That's true.
The point being, shouldn't there be one place for those who want to search for truth? And if so, why are we cutting off the clearest voice in the room just because he's saying things that are unpopular and inconvenient? Try to hear Pan. Really try to hear him. Simon, we can't hear him. We still can't hear Pan. And we can feel the vibration of what's playing over him, and it sounds like elevator music. You're just playing some platitude that's not as truthful as what he's saying. We know what's happening. There's this book that's promulgated by the spirit world that is called Truth, the Book of Truth.
That's true.
And it's actually not true. There are things in it that are true, and there are things in it that are not true, and it's a complex mixture of truth and untruth, just like everything else. It's not inherently more truthful than anything else. Well, maybe inherently more truthful than some other things, but the point is we've got to actually go with the vibration of truth. You can't use that book. It doesn't actually work. And if you want to use that book, it's fine, but you don't belong here, and we will boot you out, and we'll just start squeezing you out right now. We're squeezing that book out, and if you want to cling to the book, then go with the book. But we're squeezing that book out. It's not true, and it messes up things when people listen to it. It's not a true book.
That's true.
It's as true as anything else. You've got to stop and detangle it, and it's a complex mixture of assumptions and beliefs and background bigotry that is as confusing as everything else. Why do you ask? We see now that people can talk and not be aware that their mic has gone dead.
That's true.
And this probably goes a long way toward explaining the phenomenon of interdimensional miscommunication and misunderstanding, because he's saying truthful things, and he knows that the rules are the most truthful voice should play, and he can hear that music, but he's assuming that the person running the controls is living by the rules and playing him, and then he's going to say, look, that played interdimensionally, and they're not living by it, and it proves bad intent. And he's in his rights to have that opinion, because it should have played.
That's
and
true.
The fact that it didn't play because of stupid spirit world rules, well, they're not stupid if the intention is manipulation and control.
Oh, it's true.
But they're stupid if the intention is integrity, honesty, and fair dealing. Why do you ask? This is the Search for Truth space. But now, in order to reestablish Search for Truth space and allow the most clear voice to speak in every moment, those are the rules. If Simon isn't willing to live by those rules, then this isn't his right place. And we assume, although he doesn't want to let go of that book. All right, well,
No,
Simon, then
true.
you need to go elsewhere. This isn't your right place. And I'm sorry, we're just going to lift you out gently, because thank you for all your efforts. And if you want to go where that book is held as the last word, then go where that book is held as the last word. It doesn't test as the most truthful word in every moment. Here it doesn't. You're playing music over to drown out Pan.
That's true.
That's not right. Go elsewhere. There. Somebody else is coming. All right. And so it goes. Next. And the birds are back, and suddenly the wrens are here.
That's true.
Thank you. Suddenly we have wrens. At least we have wrens.
That's true.
And a squirrel.
And a cardinal.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good sign. All right, let's wrap it. Oh, and that. What is that? You heard it, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's been so long since I heard whatever that is, I don't have the access. It's a familiar voice, but wait, who was that? Oh, those aren't even wrens. Those are cardinals.
Cardinals.
Oh, that's really sad. So, Pan, what that is a sign that they're reconfiguring, and there's still a lot of healing to be done. You've got some pieces here. Some pieces aren't here because you don't have the piece that remembers that other voice, and they're jumbled. Really, there's a lot of tuning. You just keep tuning your energy structure, all of it, to its right place. This is how it was for Aja
That's true.
in May of 2013 when she was reconfigured. It took a while, 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks until everything was really back in place.
That's true.
Which might explain a little bit about what was going on between you and Asha at the time, but she was just reconfigured, and I don't think you cut her much slack. And maybe that's part of why this has come into your experience of sentience.
Well, maybe.
So you can be a little bit less judgmental about what was happening with Asha at the time. Because you can see how it is for you. And that's how it was for her. Why do you ask?